All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the alaracanfieldshow, the Awaken Happiness Now global series. Thank you so much for being here with us. If you're live or if you're watching on replay, thank you. Thank you. Support resources, wonderful speakers, assist you in being the best version of you possible, in raising the vibration frequency of the planet and the collective humanity, all of us together. And truly, the show is called Awaken to Happiness Now. And so, of course, I want you to be happy. And so when you're happy, you radiate that happiness out to others and to the whole planet. And so, of course, that radiates all over the planet, all over the galaxy, all over the universe. So please, please, please do whatever it takes to awaken that happiness within, and also then express that happiness out into the world. So please do subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not yet. So please do subscribe. We do try and do live shows a couple of times a week. And so then you'll be able to watch the replays here. And of course, if you would like to join us live, please do subscribe to the show. And you will also receive some wonderful, fabulous gifts from the speakers as well. So let's get started. I'm excited. Today, my good friend Moncef Afkir is back with us. And we're going to be talking about mastering conscious creation in times of change. And so some of what we're going to discuss today is why the transition from the old to the new can be uncomfortable or unstable. Can we create the life we desire when it looks like chaos in the outer world? We're going to talk about trusting your own truth and building confidence within to make your own choices. We're going to talk about honoring your own style of creating, transcending perfection, and embracing our human experience. We're going to talk about relationships, speaking our truth, and improving ourselves, boundaries, and compassion. That's a big, huge topic. And then, of course, Moncef is going to be doing a 10 to 15-minute group process to help with redirecting our focus into our heart and recalling back to us more of our sovereignty. And of course, we are going to be taking live caller questions. So if you do have questions, you can raise your hand or type your question in the chat. And for those of you who don't know Moncef, I'm sure you all do. He's wonderful. He facilitates group healing sessions where he creates an energetic space along with benevolent beings of light and the attendees, holding the frequencies of authentic acceptance and love and helping to alchemize and shift what needs to be transmuted and connect to deeper levels of true self. He's also the host of Your Divine Uniqueness show since 2015. Oh my goodness, I thought you started the same time as me.
No, after.
So Moncef started his career as an engineer, then followed his calling to shift his path to a service that resonates more with his heart's truth and where he can create and serve more freely. He left his job in 2013 to dedicate himself to his new path. Before becoming a way of service, spirituality has been for him a way of self-discovery and awakening. So I'm always so happy, glad when somebody of Moncef's caliber and service work and heart-centered beingness that he is comes to the show to share his wisdom, his teachings, his love, and just his beingness. So I'm so excited that you're here with us, Moncef. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Alara, for introduction, and very happy to be with you and your beautiful community.
Thank you. And of course, you are a host like me. You're also a light worker, a service worker, heart-centered worker, just like me. So it's wonderful. I get to it's like I feel like we're in the a unique group of people who are doing this work and also having our own journey of spiritual growth and awakening, right? And so everything that we share usually comes from our own experiences as well, right? So like, what are we experiencing? What are we going through? What wisdom are we having? Or sometimes what, chaos are we going through, right? So, so let's get started into the topic. And like I said, we're going to be taking live caller questions. So you can raise your hand or type your question in the chat. So our topic today is around mastering conscious creation in times of change. And of course, we've been through so much change and still going through so much change. So can we transition from the old to the new in a more comfortable way, in a more stable way, in a more ease-filled way? Because sometimes it really does feel like it's so uncomfortable.
Right, exactly. How to say, like we can, so the experience that we have, it depends if we are resisting the change or not. And many times also we can resist that unconsciously, because there are maybe patterns, traumas in the background that we are not aware of. And in general, like the change, it creates some, maybe, how to say, some uncomfort, because what's we used to, like the way we used to create our life in general is that we build an image beforehand, about how things will unfold or how we will create things. But then when change happens, it feels like we don't know anymore how to do that. And this is what creates many times like this discomfort. And here what can help, it's really to be more flexible. And that's, how to say, it's not something we can force. It's maybe sometimes with experience, because the experience is like it activates something within us. And when we have a similar experience in the future, it's like it brings some ideas or guidance that reminds us that this is just a normal, it's part of this human life. And it's not about making things unfold exactly the way we had in our mind before, but it's more about flowing and allowing things to unfold step by step. And if a change happen, if we feel like we don't know anymore how to create things, it's, how to say, it's like it's an opportunity for us to really bring more of our true power, of our sovereignty, because it feels like, when we start something new and start learning something new, in general there is some excitement. And why we have that, because we don't have yet that image created yet, so there is more flexibility there. And if we are able to be in that space more and more in our daily life, it can help us through that transition.
Well, even earlier today, I was having this moment where it's like, I want some things to happen in a certain way. And it's like, and so, this doubt and fear came into my mind. It's like, I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It's like, you know what? So I just took a deep breath, and it's like, you know what? I'm just going to be in the flow. I'm just going to trust the universe. If it's meant to be, it will be. I've already declared what it is that I want. And, I've taken some steps to bring it to fruition. But at some point, you have to surrender, right? So you have to have a vision of what you want, but not a rigid control of it. You have to, at some point, surrender that to the universe, right?
Yeah, exactly. And also part of that surrendering is letting go of the timing when it will happen, because that creates maybe so much resistance, especially when the timing we fix getting close, and then where we feel more stressed and we feel like we have more doubts that maybe we will not receive what we want, or the things that we want will not happen. And yeah, and also surrendering, it's not, sometimes it may be understood as giving up, but it's not about letting go of what we truly desire. It's more about allowing them to happen in the best way that can serve us, and in the right timing.
Yeah.
Also.
And it comes to, like one of my mantras is, I choose to trust the universe, right? So it's a mantra I say every morning. And then when I have this moment of doubt or fear, it's like, I choose to trust the universe, right? So it's about trusting that, knowing and trusting that everything happens for your highest good, right? And so the universe as for me, a benevolent universe. So if I'm not receiving what I want right away, it's okay. It'll happen in its own divine timing, which I don't like that term, divine timing, because I'm a very impatient person. That is one of my quirks. I'm a very impatient person. But as soon as I say that for myself, you know what? I choose to trust the universe. It lowers all the barriers. It lowers all the resistance. It lowers all that frustration, what I'm maybe getting into for that moment. And knowing that whatever's going to happen is going to be for my highest good, because everything that happens is for my highest good. And I know that from looking at my past, all my experiences in my life. I know that everything that happens, even if it looks crazy, even if it looks really horrible, it's for my highest good, and the highest good of those around me as well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. And also like those moments, they are also opportunities for us to build that trust, because why we have doubts, why we sometimes we have that urgency, and we all have this, and it's okay because we are humans.
Yeah. I just want to
No,
say, somebody
yes.
wrote in the chat, surrender comes with resistance, but it proves that we can trust God, universe,
Yeah.
spirit, creator, choose whatever name you'd like, but yes, that we can trust. And that for a lot of people, I think, Moncef, trusting is a big issue, is a big issue that we're dealing with. I know for me, it has been in the past, but trusting more and more the universe, ourselves, life in general, it starts to soften your heart and I think, right, soften your heart and even allow you to receive with more ease.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And also, like from my own experience, because I learned a lot from my past experiences, is that maybe the more we take risks, the more we build more trust. And by taking risks, I mean following our guidance. And sometimes, because many times, even like the guidance is very clear, we still have doubts and we don't follow it. It's more about, yeah, just taking risk and being, how to say, more curious about what will happen. Take that step and see. It's more like a learning process, and at some point we will feel that trust starting to be more and more present within.
But at the same time, we can take, well, we have to. I'm gonna just say, I'm normally not very adamant about it, but we have to take steps. We cannot just wait for the universe to
Yeah.
deliver something. Like, we have to do our part and taking those steps, and we can create the life that we desire even when outside is chaos. Because if you're calm inside, if you know what you want, if you are confident in yourself and your being, and you're taking the steps, then it's going to happen regardless of what's happening in the outside world, right? If it's meant
Yeah.
to be in divine timing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's more about how the journey will unfold. But yeah, if it's meant to happen, it will happen. But also for me, also from my experience, sometimes I feel guided to wait, and it can be challenging. So it's maybe like following our guidance doesn't mean always for me to take action, but sometimes it's more learning about to wait and trust. And for me, those times where we're really, how to say, where I learn to trust more myself, my guidance, and also we have, how to say, especially when we have a lot of doubts and when we feel that things are very slow and we feel like we need to wait, how to say, it becomes more difficult for us to take decisions. So we run toward others usually, so they can help us in general, but also how to say, sometimes we don't allow ourselves to build that trust within ourselves and try to take decisions, even though there is many like lots of uncertainty or we don't have clarity in that moment.
Well, I know for myself, when I have something that I want to do and there's an obstacle after obstacle,
Yeah.
then I know it's like, all right, this is not the right time, so we're going to just wait, and
Yeah.
other times I find myself procrastinating on something. It's like, all right, well, obviously it's not the right time, so we're just going to wait, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not again, like you said, it's not about giving up. It is,
Yeah.
I call that waiting part, I call that the pregnant pause. There's
Yeah.
a pause because there's still stuff building underneath, right? But it hasn't come to that surface yet where you can actually start taking action on it. But the energy is still building, is still creating within. So you still have to hold on to that faith and hold on to that vision and hold on to that dream or whatever it is that you want to create, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's not about letting go of that or just settling for less. Like if we get to want what we want, it's we deserve that, and it's our birthrights, and we are here to create. And this creation, it starts from an intention and a desire initially, and it's just what I said before. It's like being flexible. It's more about allowing that desire to come to fruition in a way that can serve us, and also sometimes it can manifest in a way that is much better than we can expect.
Yes.
And yeah, And many times it's
Absolutely.
happened to me, like I try to control or plan everything, but then when I let go, it really just happens really beautifully.
Yeah, I agree. Same thing has happened
Yeah.
with me many, many times. And that's why it's like there's no point holding on so tight. If you are meant to have something, if something is meant to be in your life, it will be. But at the same time, it's like there's something around that I just wanted to ask you about. The whole meant to be, you know, that it has to be a desire from your heart, not your ego saying, well, I have to have this, I want this because that person has this, or I want this because if you're coming from lack and scarcity and fear, that's not coming from your heart, right? So you have to really look at what it is that you want to create and where is it coming from. Where's the motivation, where's the I'm not sure what the right word is I'm looking for, but the impetus, where is it coming from, right? And so I know a lot of times when I was using my mind to create, it never worked out. Somebody told me to do something, and so I was like, okay, they know better. They're like this, really professional coach, blah blah blah, and they say do this, and I'm like, all right, and then fall flat on my face. It's like, okay, not the right move for me. So you have to trust yourself, right, and honor your own style of creating what works for you. Like, and that's going to be different for everybody. I can't do what you do. You can't do what I do. I can't do what somebody else is doing because that's not our energy. That's not our desire, even, right? So our style of creating is going to be different, and so that's okay. We don't have to be the same as everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's very important to honor that, because many times we try to maybe to do it the same way others do, like someone we know who maybe is successful or creating something that we want, and we try to be exactly what they are, like replicating their what they are doing. But how to say, because there are people who like, for example, like the details, like to know exactly everything. And there are some people who like this works for them, and when I compare them, and they are succeeding in their life. But for me, like I like details in structure in business, but in life I prefer more flowing and be more flexible, and this works much better for me. So it doesn't mean if something works for others that it will work for me. Like you said, it's more about honoring ourselves and this, how to say, our own unique way of creating and style. We learn that by experience, and also by following our guidance, taking risks, and taking steps.
Absolutely.
It's a process.
It's following your guidance, following what's coming to you, and then taking the steps. And then sometimes, it works out great. Other times it does not. It's okay. But sometimes we have to learn even through those times when it doesn't work out. There's something in there for us to learn. And I know, like for myself, somebody, coaches, etc., they say you should plan, your social media 1 month in advance. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I mean, other than the shows, how can I plan anything? I'm more in the flow. I'm like in the flow type of person. Like one of my assistants, she would love it if I would give her information a week in advance, right? I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I don't know. I won't know till the day of. So it's like sometimes it's like I'm more like that in the moment, flowy type of person, right? And then when I get inspired, then it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this. Okay, I need a graphic right away. And she's like, I need time. It's like, yeah, well, okay, I'll just do something myself. It's okay. Right. So I can't plan like that. So that's not what works for me. That's not who I am. That's not how I create. Right. So each person is going to be different. I'm sure there are many other people who like plan it out and everything and, and way in advance and whatever. That's great. But for me, it doesn't work. Right. So we have to honor our own style of creating, of talking to the universe, getting guidance, what action steps we take, etc. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when there are, how to say, lots of changes happening, it becomes difficult to plan like long time in advance. If you can do that, it will be great. But also adding more flexibility can be very helpful. And also something you mentioned earlier, how to say, like someone told you like give you some guidance, but still you followed what you thought. How to say, sometimes like when we do that, I'm not encouraging to do that, but if it happens, also we learn a lot. Like it happened to me like before, and then it became very challenging when I didn't listen to the guidance. But
Yeah, that's
but then
true.
after that, how to say, I got a lot of confidence, much more trust within myself, and then I started trusting my guidance more, and uh, and become more able to discern what is truth for me and what is not. So it's not also if someone like maybe feel shame or judge themselves for doing that. It's okay. We are humans. We do sometimes such actions, but we learn from that, and also and these are experiences that are helping us.
Yeah. And, like you said, we are humans. We are having a human experience. Doesn't matter how spiritual or enlightened we might be in other dimensions, other realities, other lifetimes, etc. In this lifetime,
Yeah.
right here, right now, this is who we are. We are having a human experience. And so it's about honoring that human experience. And like you said, transcending perfection. So we don't have to be perfect, but we do need to honor ourselves and embrace this reality, this experience that we're having, and keep moving forward, keep growing, keep connecting, etc. Right?
Yeah. And sometimes we find ourselves trying to seek perfection, especially in spirituality, and we try so hard to maybe heal every trauma and just remove everything that triggers us. And at some point we find ourselves like stuck in some kind of loop, like we are always in those vibrations. We don't have experiences where we feel more expanded, more joyful. And the life is about cycles. When maybe a trauma or challenge comes to the surface, we don't look for that. But when it comes, then we deal with that. We hold the space. We try to transmute that. But then after that, when we have this more flowing, expanding energy, then it's more about creating and moving forward.
I recently told one of my clients, I said, don't go looking for triggers. Don't go looking for things to heal. Live your life. You're not here just to heal all the wounds, etc. Live your life, and as stuff comes up, then look at it. Not in the moment, because you won't get to it in the moment, but afterwards, as stuff comes up, then look at it, heal it, work with it, try to understand it, etc. But live your life. Don't forget to live, right? So I, do not go looking for stuff to heal, because if I go looking for it, I'm going to find it, and I'm going to keep finding it, and then I'm going to go into judgment of myself, like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? I have so many things still messed up. I'm trying to use nice words here. Right? So don't go looking for stuff to heal. Live your life, create, right? Take actions, do what your heart desires, but you have to, do. You cannot just wait. There's a time for waiting. Absolutely. I totally get that. Sometimes you have to wait, but on the whole, for me anyways, I am an action-oriented person. So if I find myself getting stuck in some way, I will take some sort of action, and that at least will start to move the energy, right? So whatever it happens to be, or I will go for a walk, or I will play with the boys, or I will, do something to change my mindset, change my energy, change my emotions, right? So then once I'm in a more neutral place, then I can look at it. It's like, okay, what was that? What was going on? Because when you're in the moment, your emotions are too heightened, etc. You can't truly see the truth, right? So we, some people, of course, say we are perfect as we are. Absolutely, we are perfect as we are at the soul level, at the core soul level, but at the personality level, I have a lot of quirks. I'm just going to say that, right? Because people don't like it when I say bad things about myself. So I'm going to say I have a lot of little quirks that I'm still working with. So it's about transcending perfection. Also means not judging ourselves, right? And accepting ourselves.
Yeah.
And for me, that's huge. That self-acceptance piece is huge. We can't get to the whole self-love piece until we actually accept ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, and accepting ourselves it's not about maybe changing every part of us that we maybe don't feel comfortable with. It's more about accepting ourselves the way we are right now in these moments, and accepting, like you said, like every part of us that's how to say, sometimes we feel shameful about, or anything like that.
I don't
And
feel shameful. I just, I laugh
it
at
depends on
myself
the
at some
person.
of
Yeah,
my
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, like I said earlier, I am impatient. Maybe I'm not as impatient as before, but I'm a little bit impatient. I'm a control freak. I'm not as bad as a control freak as I used to be, but I'm still a control freak.
Yeah.
So those are my like little quirks, right? And so I love my imperfections. I'm perfectly imperfect. Yes, exactly. Perfectly imperfect. All right, so now I want to talk about relationships. That's huge. We're all here in this lifetime, like it's all about relationships, all about
Right.
emotions, it's all about engaging with other people, right? So speaking our truth in regards to relationships, that's not always easy.
Yeah. Also, I want to compare both like speaking our truth and also becoming more free from triggers, because many times when we feel triggered by others, as we say, if we can speak our truth, we try so hard to convince them to stop doing that. Or sometimes it happens just within us. There is anger within us that we don't release, and it becomes more challenging. And like in the beginning, like also from my own experience, how it happens, like the first step, it was more like having this rebellious state of being and trying to maybe speak out my truth, like my ideas, my opinions. And it was more, how to say, at some point it was a little bit like fighting, not really fighting, but more trying to convince others. And for me, I understood that speaking my truth is that's making others agree with me, but it was not right. And then at some point, as I grew and shifted, I've been shifting, like I learned that some triggers, like we don't need to change them or to stop them. It's more about, can we become centered? Can we focus on our hearts and allowing that happen? Especially when, how to say, if someone judges, I'm not talking if someone is intruding our space or trying to control our space. Here we need to create boundaries, but more if someone says something about us or judge us, can we be okay to allow this to happen and just be here and now? It's like asking those questions sometimes can really help us with time. It's more a process and it's a practice to become more and more free. And when we are in that state of freedom, then there is compassion that comes to the surface. We start seeing beyond the veils, that's why others say things or judge us. And we start understanding that maybe they have self-doubts, they don't like things about themselves. It's more about they are judging themselves. And here there is more like love and compassion coming through us and sharing it with them. And here, like, it's, if we can help, if they allow us, it's okay. But if they still make their own choices, we need to allow them to do that.
Absolutely, I totally agree. And so that's why I actually don't say anything to anybody. Like nobody, my family does not ask me anything, because if they did, I don't know what I would say, but they don't. So I don't say anything to anybody until they ask me a question. If they ask me, like, what do you think about this? Or what should I do about this? Or what's coming, unless it's a client. When I'm working with a client, I will say, let's look at this for a second, right? But otherwise, I don't ever want, and I said this in my inner circle membership call on Monday, it's like, I never want to force my opinions on anyone.
Yeah.
If what I say resonates with you, great. If it doesn't resonate with you, great. But I never want to force my opinions on anyone, ever. And so, for me, part of that is like, I also don't want them forcing their opinions on me. It's like, let me live my life, right? Let me choose what I want to believe and what I don't want to believe. Let me choose my points of view that I want to have. And so that freedom of that is freedom in its allowance, right? Allowing myself to choose what's right for me and allowing other people to choose what's right for them. So I don't tell my kids what to do. I don't tell anybody what to do unless they're a client. Then it's like, all right. But even then, I don't say you should, or you have to, or whatever. It's like, well, think about this, this different way of looking at things. And so part of that is like allowing ourselves to have our own experiences. unless it's something violent, you know, like if you're
Yeah.
in danger, that's a different story. We're talking about just everyday stuff. We're not talking about safety here, right? But so it's like allowing each person to have their own journey, have their own path, have their own way of seeing things until they ask you a question. If you ask me something, then it's like, yeah, you know what, this is what I think. It's up to you. I'm very much like that, very passive in that way. So that, you know, even within our relationships too, it's like allowing the people to have the freedom to be, right? So I want you to just be who you are, you know, and feel safe and comfortable to be who you are with me, right? So you don't have to put on a mask. You don't have to put on a face or anything. Just be who you are, right?
Yeah.
Without fear of judgment or fear of rejection or fear of anything. So yes, we need boundaries if someone is not treating us well. I totally agree. I will not allow anyone to treat me badly. So there are definitely strong boundaries around that. And that's an honoring of myself, right? And then of course compassion for everyone, because nobody knows exactly what we are experiencing in our lives. Nobody knows, you know. Nobody knows what I'm thinking. Nobody knows what I'm feeling. Nobody knows what I'm truly experiencing life as. And so I don't know anything about what you're going through, right? So compassion is key in all relationships, but boundaries are also important. And
and compassion, wants to mention something like it's very important, especially in those moments when we see, especially people close to us who are in a pattern that is repeating for a long time. And here, like, especially how to say, with those who know that, because sometimes we have some issues that it takes a long time to heal that and to shift that. And to experience, we all experience that at some point in our life, and it takes time. It's not that they don't want to change. It's at some point it feels overwhelming, and we can have this compassion and understanding with them. It's when we have that for ourselves, when we had that in our journey, and when we accept ourselves as we are, and then that compassion will come naturally, and we can share that space with others.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Because there are some, you know, some people that I do not agree with at all. It's like, but you know, that's their reality. That's what they're choosing. That's what, you know, so that's their choice. So it's like, you know, choice for me, freedom to choose, freedom to be is uppermost, as long as they're not encroaching on my freedom to be as well. So all sorts of wonderful stuff. All right. Do you want to take some questions?
Yes.
Yes.
But I don't do readings, everybody.
I know, but we'll just see what type of questions people have. Manisha, you want to unmute yourself? I don't know if Manisha is there.
Yeah,
there she is.
here. I'm here.
Hi, how are you?
Oui. Bonsoir, Moncef.
Bonsoir.
Alara, thank you so much for the call and so much wisdom. And Moncef, how can one move forward with relationships, like personal relationships, like a lot of betrayal from siblings, etc.? You know, that's my question, please. Thank you.
Yeah. So your name is Manisha. How to say, like when there's, how to say, things like betrayal here, like for me, like personally, like the first thing is trying to honor myself first. It's like creating space. If others want to join me in that space, they need to respect that space. So for me, that's important. But also I try, as you say, I don't try to maybe to cut the connection. I try to keep it open and allow them to go through what they are going through. But knowing that they are always welcome, but sometimes we need to express that, that they need to respect us and honor who we are and our space. And how to say, sometimes it can feel like we are maybe being hard toward others, or maybe giving up on them when doing that. But as we say, when we express our truth in those situations, because for me, it happened, like I saw people changing and becoming more respectful. Other people, they chose to maybe different path. They chose to see me maybe less, but in the end, it's more about honoring yourself first, and then connecting with others in that space. That's how I approach it.
Yeah, it's
Thank
always
you
about
very-
honoring yourself first, what feels right for you, honoring you. You know, if somebody's betrayed me, you know, which people have, so, you know, and unfortunately they're a family member, so I will have to see them again. But to be honest, if I don't want that energy in my field, I don't want that energy in my life, you know, if I can help it, but I can't. So it's like, all right, gonna have to deal with it. Right. But the thing is, how does it feel for me? Because you don't have to, if it's you don't have to put up with bad behavior, violent behavior, even if it's not physically violent, emotionally, mentally violent type of behavior. You don't have to. That's when you get to put your foot down and say no. That's when you create the boundaries for yourself. So like, even though I have people in my life who I, you know, do not wish to ever see again, but I will, in those moments, I will have like a hands-off type of relationship.
No, absolutely, Alara. But that's what's been happening, is that I have distanced myself from my siblings. And then what's happened is I do feel isolated. And
you need to find some other friends.
Yeah, I do that. But it's just that, you know, I get triggered. For example, yesterday, one of my brothers sent me a message saying he's going to plant a tree in my mom's name, late mom. It's 40 years this year. And I was thinking, well, if it was me, I would have done it. And I would have said, well, I include all my siblings' names. I'm just, so you do see where I'm coming there? I got triggered.
Yeah, so just, you know, you can't expect people to be like you. And this is for everybody. You cannot expect people to be like you. So if he's planting a tree in your mom's name, awesome, great. That's wonderful. Planting trees is fantastic. Good on you. End of discussion.
That's what I did. That's what I did.
But you're still holding on to it. You're still holding on to the
thought,
energy. I would have done this instead. Why is it, you know, like, and whatever, you know, like, don't go in there. Don't go there.
Okay.
Don't even think about it. And if you want to plant a tree, go plant a tree. Right?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
Hopefully that makes sense.
And also asking, like, if
go ahead, Moncef. I was
Also,
going
like
to say
I
one
said-
thing though afterwards, Manisha, so just wait.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said earlier, it's maybe you can also ask yourself, is it okay to allow that, to maybe just let it happen? And can I focus more on my heart? Because many times when we try to change others, like, even if they change, similar thing will happen with other people. So and at some point we will feel tired doing that. So it's more about allowing those things. It's like things are flowing around us, but not touching our center. And it can take time. It's okay if it doesn't happen right now, but it's just ask yourself, is it okay to allow them to do these behaviors, and at the same time just focus on my heart and be okay with that? Because at some point you will realize that it's not personal. You won't be taking this personally. It's not about you. It's not there is something wrong with you. It's something that they still didn't heal within themselves.
That's true. Right? Each person is having their own journey. And so his point of view and the way he acts or reacts is going to be different than what you do and how you do. So his consciousness is different than yours, right? And you think too much. That's what I want to say. You think too much.
No, but I just wanted to say something to you, Alara. Thank you so much for Monday's healing.
I don't even remember as long ago. So you're welcome.
I asked you for something for my son, and things are really better. Because, like you're saying, why I'm bringing it up is it's because of what he's been going through. And that's the
you don't have to react.
That's it. It's hard sometimes. Yeah,
of course. But you know, the more that you can catch yourself reacting, the easier it will be moving forward.
Mhm.
Right?
Thank you very much. Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
But yes, you think too much. I'm just going to say that again. I think too much as well. So that's how I know. It's like, stop thinking about it. Let people do their thing, whatever that happens to be, and you do your thing. Right? Yeah. Thank you, Manisha. Sometimes I'm like, right to the like, you think too much. You have to stop thinking so much about other people.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Who cares? Think about yourself.
Yeah.
Focus on you. Focus on your life. Focus on your efforts moving forward. Focus on what you're creating. Doesn't matter what other people are doing at all.
And also, like, as we say, sometimes we have expectations, like from where love will come to us, and we try to maybe force love to come from certain people, but it's more about, how to say, trying to hold the space for ourselves and be with ourselves, and love will come in ways that sometimes will surprise us, and sometimes it doesn't come from people that we expect. So
yeah, sometimes a lot of times it doesn't come from people
yeah.
like we expect. So
Yeah.
love yourself. Do what works for you. And that's the thing that Moncef, I'm so glad you mentioned that. Expectations. When you have expectations, there's a chance of being disappointed because nobody is exactly like you. And so your expectations will be unmet because they don't even know what your expectations are, and they may not even be able to fulfill and live up to those expectations.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's, when you look at it that way, that comes from a place of compassion, like Moncef was talking about earlier, right? Having compassion for the other person. They may not be able to behave the way that you want them to. They may not have that capacity. They may not have that awareness.
Yeah.
So all you can offer in that moment is compassion to them on their journey and let them be, right? There was a time when I did not talk to my brother and sister-in-law for years. Years, I did not talk to them, okay? Years meaning 3 or 4 years. But you know, for in my family, that's a long time. But I did not talk to them. I didn't see them. I didn't go to any functions where they were going to be because I couldn't trust myself to stay calm and not react. So I stayed away for a few years, right? But I was not forcing them to not go to any events or functions. I wasn't forcing them to behave a certain way. I just kept honoring my space and what I needed, right?
Yeah.
So yes, do I sometimes feel isolated? Absolutely, especially living here in Austria. I have no friends here, no family here, completely isolated. If it wasn't for my online community, all you wonderful folks, I'd be like basket case, right? So try not to have as many expectations of other people. That will help big time. Yeah. All right. So Destiny, I think you were asking a question, and I think Moncef said he's going to include that in the group process, the clearing anger and fear. He's going to include that in the group process. Is there anything else you wanted to ask? Moncef doesn't do readings or scanning, just so you know. You're muted. You're muted.
You are muted.
Could you walk us through a process that brings us out of our heads and down into our heart and body?
Heart.
Just brings everything down.
I think that's what he's going to do in the process.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to do in the process. Okay, in just a little bit.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, Sue, you had a question for Moncef? Oh, you're muted, Sue. Sorry.
I'm doing
Okay,
it. There you go.
Yep, you're good.
Okay, I'm muted now.
Yep.
Hello. Anyway,
Hi.
my question is, I think I'm kind of like sabotaging myself. I've been having a physical ailment with my eyes, and I lost independence through it and a lot of other stuff. So I'm doing this healing process. But my husband kept bringing up a very important point, which you just brought up. He goes, why don't you just enjoy the day and enjoy life and stop worrying about your eyesight? And I went, okay. So I kind of took his advice to heart, and I'm still like stuck in this acceptance pattern. Like some days it's better than others with the vision, but am I like holding myself back from healing by not accepting how that day is going?
Can you repeat the last part? The last question.
Am I not like accepting? I guess what I'm saying is I don't accept like how my eyesight is that day. I guess I'm thinking, well, it should be better this day. Why isn't it getting better? So by me not accepting the way it is that day, am I kind of sabotaging myself on healing the process of my eyesight?
So it's better, like for me, I try not to see things like that as sabotage, because it comes, how to say, as self-judgments, and then it creates maybe more challenge toward that experience. And it's not about you are not accepting, it's not about not accepting or accepting like the condition. It's more about just allowing it to be right now. And it can be difficult in the beginning, challenging, but as you slowly try to shift the focus to things, maybe activities that you enjoy, try to find them. Like with time, the pressure from the condition will have less effect on you. And I had maybe a physical condition before, not on my eye, but it was painful. But it's the time that I started maybe focusing, because I wasn't, how to say, having a lot of activities. I tried to focus on my passion, which was learning guitar, and then it brought more joy, more excitement, more how to say. I felt also moving forward through that time, even though it was painful. But at certain point, it started to heal, and I started recovering. But it's not that you are sabotaging yourself. It's just something that we have, especially with physical conditions. It can be difficult, and we have this fear. Sometimes we get scared quickly, and it's normal. We are human, but it's okay to feel that fear. It's more try maybe little by little to bring other things into your life that can help you to bring more peace or more joy.
Thank you.
So, yeah, so I was just going to add really quickly, Sue, on those days when, you're focusing on not being able to see as well as you would like, those are the days when, you want to focus on other things that bring you joy, like Moncef was saying, and things that you're grateful for, right? And part of, I mean, we all have, from time to time, we have challenging things happening. But as soon as we switch our focus to something else, whether for me, it's like going outside, going for a walk, playing with the boys, giving my husband a hug, something to shift the energy, my attention, my focus, then it relieves that pressure of the why and why not, etc. Right? It relieves that pressure, and it brings you more back into a state of peace and calm. And when you're in that state of peace and calm, you're not in resistance and fighting, right? And so when you're in that place of peace and calm, that's when you're in that space of allowance for what is, right? And in that allowance of what is comes the acceptance and the possibility for change. So again, possibility. I have no idea what's going to happen. There's no guarantees of anything, but there's more of a possibility for change when you're calm, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I've been dealing with issues since before Easter, and so so I, there were days when it's like, I had to take a whole last week off because I just can't anymore. There was just too many physical things going on and blah blah blah. But anyways, so I could be stuck in that all the time and saying, oh my God, this is happening, oh my God, that's happening, blah 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 blah. And I had those moments. Don't get me wrong, I had those moments. It's okay, right? But then switching to a higher vibration, higher frequency, gratitude, and having that be more than the fear and the doubt and the other stuff, right? So having the positive energy vibe moments more than the other is going to help you in the long run.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes a sense. Yeah.
So, I mean, it is a mindset game as well, right? So it is about training your mind to look at something, differently. And also, like, I always ask the question when somebody talks about eyes, like, oh, what are you not willing to see, right? Or what,
Right.
and what are you not willing to know? Or what are you not willing to see? And there are so many things that we are not willing to see because we have a fixed point of view, right? Our
Right.
life looks like this, it should be like this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's about being in that allowance and sometimes even just observing, okay, what is going on? What is happening here? Right? But without judgment, without beating yourself up, without going into, I don't like that term self-sabotage either, because it does go into judging ourselves. And this is not about judging ourselves. This is about accepting ourselves and having compassion for ourselves in our journey. I'll be honest, life is hard.
Right. Yes.
I have not had the easiest life at all. Right. And
And
as I'm
neither
saying
have
that, I have tears, coming, but I have not had the easiest life. So life is hard, but then there are wonderful moments when life is so full of bliss and love and, oh my God, so much joy and happiness that it's like, it's okay. So I would rather focus on that stuff to raise my vibration and frequency than all the other stuff.
Right.
Right.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So
I agree. I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, good. So focus on the good, focus on the positive, focus on the expansiveness in your life and all the support. Like your husband's obviously very supportive as well.
Yes,
And
'cause he's the one who helps me. I call
yeah.
him, he's the godsend with my eyes the way they are right now. He makes sure I don't, when we go out, because with my retinal issue, it's hard to explain, but anyway, he's the one, like my protector right now.
Yeah.
And I know that was part of my thing of like, I'm putting him through all this, trauma and stuff because of me, because of losing my independence. But I've learned now to receive of what he is giving me, which makes it a lot eeasier on both of us.
Exactly.
I'm just-
Receive the support and allow
Right.
him to be the support for you, because that's, it's a karmic connection. It's a karmic contract. I don't even
Right.
like those words, but it's more like, I mean, my husband is, as much as we're going through right now, he's still a great support for me,
Mhm.
and I'm so grateful and lucky that I have that support.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm a support to him, yes, but sometimes I still think he's more of a support for me.
Right
But,
now,
and
he-
recognizing that and appreciating that and acknowledging that, and also acknowledging for yourself, I am supported.
I am. I honestly, yeah. He's been a godsend. And I mean, it's like you talk blessings from heaven. I'm very fortunate because
To
especially at
focus
this
on that.
prime time. But I think in reality it has really brought us a lot closer together and everything because, it's just, maybe that was part of it. I don't know, but
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everything happens for a reason, and I think everything happens for your highest good.
yes.
So even if you have, vision issues, etc.,
Mhm.
again, what else is there that the universe is trying to gift you? Gifting you the support from your husband, recognizing that support is one thing, right? Well, but what else is there that you've been gifted with since you've lost something? What did you gain, right? What were you
I
gifted?
gain a lot.
Yeah,
I've
focus
gained
on that.
wonderful people that have helped me through the healing process, gave me I had like my questions answered that I needed answered. And I'm really now like on the right path and on a wonderful spiritual journey on a higher level now.
Absolutely, right? So like it's like a win-win-win.
Because somebody made the comment to me, they said, yeah, you'll get back your physical sight, but you're going to see beyond the physical sight. You're going to see the spiritual sight. So.
And again,
that's pretty
just-
cool.
just see how it unfolds, right? Be an allowance of how it
Yep.
unfolds instead of going into expectation of it has to be like this. This has to
Right.
happen because somebody said.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So be an allowance of what shows up and how it shows up.
That's what I've been doing now. I've been going day by day, and the way it is the way it is. And I just enjoy it for what it is that day.
Yeah.
It
Beautiful.
was a hard lesson to learn, but I finally learned it because I was told I was stubborn.
Aren't we all?
That means right.
Yes, I was just told today too. Or I even said, oh my God, I'm so stubborn. I didn't realize maybe I'm the more stubborn one in the family. But yeah, good. Wonderful.
Who, me? No. Oh,
I'm such a nice,
thank
kind person.
you.
Yeah, nice, kind person can be stubborn in some ways.
Yeah, that's right. That's true, right? We can be stubborn.
Yeah, exactly. It's all good.
Well, thank you for
Wonderful.
your time and the wonderful wisdom. I appreciate all of that from both of you.
Wonderful.
Mondstadt and you, Laura. I really appreciate from both and taking my call.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you so much.
And
Laura.
both of you both have a blessed and healthy day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.
So there's just really quickly, there's a comment in the chat from Donna. It might be for you, Sue. So just so you know, it says surrender into the experience, get curious about what is going on, then see if there's some limitation there that you can shift.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, please tell her thank you for that. It really hit a chord on me. I actually
Awesome.
got like the chills.
Awesome. Good.
So that was
Thank you,
meant.
Donna.
Thank you. Tell her very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank her and blessings for her day too.
She hears you. She's here. She hears you.
Oh, thank you very much. That was really comforting and I really appreciate that. And I will take that to heart. Thank you.
Wonderful. And then there's Tina in the chat says, if what we focus on, we create, then focusing on and look for the good, even in the moments of the shit pile, the crap pile, whatever pile. Not always possible, but accepting it all and loving ourselves that we have gotten through it, through all we have already. Absolutely. And enjoy places like Lara Show and Moncef Show to gather with others and the joy and love that it's here just showing up. Not always looking for what is wrong or what needs fixing. Enjoy the loving compassion that is right here, right now from all of us here.
Thank you. I do feel that. I feel the wonderful, loving energy. It's just overwhelming.
Awesome. Good.
Thank you. I mean, it's been a beautiful day. Right here is the beautiful part of the whole day.
Beautiful. I love that. Thank you.
This is the beautiful part right here from everybody. Thank you, everyone who has given me their kind comments. I really do appreciate it. You'll never know how much.
There's always so much support available for us if we're willing to receive it, right? So be willing to receive.
I have received it today, and that's been a blessed gift from up above.
Awesome.
Just blessings. Thank you all. I really appreciate all your thoughts and comments.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Moncef, I know we're going to do a process in a few minutes, but before
Yes.
that, I want to just quickly talk about the package, which is really easy to talk about. I love the easy packages, like easy peasy. I'm just going to share my screen. Give me 1 second here. Oh my goodness. All right, so the pack, okay, you should be seeing my screen now. So package with Moncef is 3 40-minute guided group sessions. And it's around living as a sovereign being. So Moncef, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Alara. And so these are, like you said, 3 40-minute guided group process. And what happens is that in the beginning, I connect to the group. I invite the group's higher selves, spirit guides, and also the beings who joins us. In general, like most of them, the Pleiadians join. Sometimes I feel Arcturians. But like each session in general, it can have a main theme and then like 3 or 4 points related to that theme. And then I speak about those points a little bit, give some guidance, and then I stay silent for a few minutes to allow the shift to happen. And there it's more like I hold the space and also co-creation with the light beings, and they work like with everyone, every person join in, specifically depending on their experience, where they are related to that theme, or if they need something in their life in that moment. And so the experience can be different from one person to the other, and so they can help to shift anything or help to move forward energetically. And the subject of these 3 sessions is to shift from depending on the outer reality, like waiting for the conditions, the reality to change for us to create what we desire. It's more about embracing our sovereignty, our true power, and because these times, like a lot of things are changing collectively, like big things, and also we feel that personally. And here we are not, because many times the resistance comes from holding on the old ways of creating, and we don't want that to change because it feels safe. But here we are here to remember our true power, to, how to say, to embody our true mastery and live as masters. And then it's more about learning, like using these times as opportunities to learn how to create beyond what is out there. And so this is the topic of these group sessions, and will be helping, like the support will be about this. And yeah, so there will be 3 on June 23rd, then 26th, and 30th of June. And it will be live. But also, if you can't join the live session, you can, I will be sending you the replay. So you'll have the video and also MP3. You can download them and use them whenever you want. And also, when you sign up, you will receive like a page, a link. You can just input your email address, so I can automatically will receive the Zoom info. And then one day before each group session, I will remind you of the Zoom calling info. And yeah, I hope you will join us.
Good. And so, of course, the special offer is $97, and there's a payment plan available. And if you're an Inner Circle member, please do take advantage of your 10 or 25% gift code to work with Moncef in this 3 40-minute guided group sessions. So now I know that we are going to be doing you're going to be doing a process. So what is this process about today? Focusing into our heart, right? Like we're talking about moving out of the head and into the heart. And at the same time, it's something about clearing the energy of frustration and
fear, anger, or anything that can trigger us, and coming back more to our hearts.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good. All right, let's do it.
So, yeah. So this will be similar to the 3 group sessions, but so to have an idea, but this will be a little bit short. So yeah, first I invite everyone to take 3 deep breaths. Inhale deeply through your nose, then exhale through your mouth. And I will stay silent so you can do the breathing at your own pace. And now I invite our higher selves, our spirit guides, also I feel the Pleiadians here, also Arcturians. And in those times when we feel triggered, especially when it becomes intense, when there is strong fear or strong anger, or resentment or guilt, or any dense emotion that can take us out of our center, what happens is we start to judge ourselves that we are doing something wrong and we need to stop that. And we try to force ourselves to come to our center. And the more we do that, the more these intense feelings come more stronger and stronger, and they become more overwhelming. Take a deep breath. And initially, it can be helpful if you you can either have someone hold the space for you. If not, maybe do activity like walking, be in nature, maybe working out. It depends on your on what you feel guided to. Sometimes we release, especially if it's anger, we can release that through movement. And also if we feel like crying, we allow that, or if we are sweating, because we are like big part of us is made of water, and we hold those memories within us that's also contribute to trigger that anger or fear. And when we cry or release that through water, through our body, also it helps to release part of those memories. And also if you feel maybe anger towards someone or maybe some being, if you can express that, but through, if you are alone, maybe screaming or doing some activities that can release that, instead of acting from hurt and reacting to other people from that. It's trying to, before to connect to others, try to release that anger first. Take a deep breath. And then if you feel able to, like after that, if you feel able to have maybe a conversation with your inner child, asking, why are you feeling afraid? Why are you feeling angry? And also allowing any answer to come without judgments. If it feels maybe not seen, not loved by others, or it feels like maybe their space has not been respected, it's like there was no boundaries before. Things like that, allowing very honest and compassionate and without any judgment, having that conversation with our inner child. And if you can, maybe hug yourself through that process, if you feel that's helpful, or maybe just put your hand in your heart, it can be helpful also. Take a deep breath. And if you still feel that it's challenging to have that conversation, because sometimes it can be challenging because, how to say, we are afraid of what will come up. We're afraid of judging ourselves. Then ask why am I running away from myself? And it's not necessary to answer this question. It's more just, it's a question just for you to contemplate, to just be here. It's not to force looking within, but just honoring your situation and where you are. Take a deep breath. And also, like I said earlier, if you still don't feel able to do that on your own, maybe having someone with you, next to you, or maybe online, who can guide you through that process, who can hold a safe space, because that process need a feeling of safety, of trust. Take a deep breath. And also as we are growing and with time, as many changes are happening, safety also changes. The way we felt safe in the past will no longer work for us. Sometimes we felt safe the way we created things and it worked out for us and it felt the right way, but at some point as we grow, as collectively we are shifting, we are awakening all humanity. We are called to feel safe through the change, through the unknown. And at some point, we realize that the safety is within our heart. And I get the image, it's like we are walking in the streets and it feels like maybe chaos or a lot of things changing, we don't understand what's going on, but we are just observing because we feel there is very strong energy within our hearts. We are there. And how to say, this creates a very strong energy field around us that's we can say protecting us, but it's more about helping us to walk as masters. We feel strong in every step. We feel grounded and we feel whole in every step that we are walking. We don't feel that anything around is affecting us. It's more about us sharing our lights and expanding that energy field, making it bigger and bigger and bigger as we are walking. That's path. Take a deep breath. And this is what we are here for, to really embody our sovereignty. And bring new possibilities to the world. Show what is possible. And at some point, we will become more like example for others. Sometimes without doing anything, without trying to talk to others. It's more just, sometimes people shifting, you feel them just shifting just because they are being with you or they are noticing the shift that you've been through. Take a deep breath. And so now I will stay silent for a couple minutes. And you don't need to do anything, just be here and now. If you feel maybe lost in some thoughts and you realize that, just take a deep breath and you can come back this moment. But yeah, the beings with us will be working with you regarding that and helping to help you to make it more safe to be more in your heart. And also becoming more comfortable with your own true power, with embodying that and expressing that and having confidence in expressing that. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And yeah, just a last reminder is that just to along your path, just remember that you are always supported, even in those times that you are feeling alone, or you don't recognize that there is support, that you are receiving support, but it's there. It's just sometimes when we are going through a healing period, there are traumas, fears, and anger in the surface. It becomes difficult to see that, but after we go through that experience, we can see like the tremendous supports that we've been receiving, and we become more and more aware of that. So just remember that. And yeah, I thank you everyone for co-creating with me and the beings with us this group session. And also I thank our higher selves, our spirit guides, the Pleiadians, Arcturians, and beings who have been with us. And yeah, now I invite everyone to come back to their own energy field. And thank you again. And you can open your eyes if you close them.
Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How was that for all of you? Destiny says, thank you, Moncef. I appreciate you. Awesome. What did you experience? What did you feel? Sometimes I'm still quite in that space still. So just feeling the energies and the healing energies from the Pleiadians and the Arcturians, your own team. It actually started right away as soon as you said, take the first 3 breaths or something. It's like automatically I was in that space and could feel the support coming in. So again, are you willing to receive the support, right? Are you willing to be in your heart? Are you willing to acknowledge the support that you're receiving? Always, right? Always, we're always supported. Keep breathing, keep drinking water, ground, all that wonderful stuff. Arietta says beautiful meditation and wonderful interview. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Arietta.
Thank you, Arietta. Thank you, Tina and Destiny also.
Yeah, anybody else have any comments or how that was for you? Oh my goodness, Tanya says, I felt strong energy and like I had a helmet on my head, very strong. Awesome, so receiving. I'm still feeling
Wonderful.
a lot here too, actually, Tanya, and in my throat. Manisha says, merci beaucoup, Moncef, very powerful and healing. I received a lot of healing and feeling supported. I'm feeling very happy. Thank you, Laura, for today's call. Thank you, Moncef. So welcome.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Manisha.
Oh, yeah. So one of the things that you said, Moncef, during the process was to sometimes even be aware of what thoughts were coming up, right? And just allowing them to be, but also allowing them to be healed or cleared or changed or whatever. Receiving the wisdom from the experience. I can't even talk. So that was great. So if people could obviously go back and watch and listen to the process again, but the whole call, of course, right, is going to help them to heal more, receive healing and support more, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It depends how they feel also. It's not trying to, sometimes we try to listen many times to things, but if we feel, yeah, it's enough, then yeah, it's time to.
Trust your intuition, trust your knowing, trust what works for you. Absolutely. I don't know. I never go back and listen to stuff. I never have time.
I do sometimes, yeah. I
I try, but it's difficult. But yeah, please do receive the healing from the process, but also from the whole call, right? All of the wisdom
Yeah.
from the whole call, the healing from the whole call. I was saying to Sue, I think before we went live, I was saying that there's healing transmissions being sent by my team on every call, so be willing to receive that as well. Cindy says, thank you so much, Laura and Moncef, for this wonderful processing call. Many blessings. Oh, thank you, Cindy. And Cindy, oh my goodness, Cindy. Cindy. Thank you for your email, Liza. I know there's like at least two. You're so sweet to send me emails. So thank you. Just wanting to, let you know that I did receive them. I'm very bad at responding sometimes to things that are not like pressing, urgent, but thank you for your emails. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you, Cindy. Many blessings to you as well.
All right. So of course, so Moncef, any last words of wisdom for us?
Yeah, just you don't need to figure out beforehand. It's a journey. And it's okay, like to be human. It's part of this experience. Like we are here, we are human beings, and we need to experience that. So allow yourself, if you go through any maybe challenges, but also when you have moments of joy, of flow, make the best of those times and move forward and enjoy them.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad you said that. Absolutely. Acknowledge those moments of joy and flow. Because the more that you acknowledge them, the more that you'll be aware of them as they show up even more. So for sure, absolutely. Thank you for that. And of course, if you'd like to work with Moncef more in the 3 group processes, it's like we did a mini one today, but those are going to be deeper, longer, more healing. Please do check out the package. Work with him. There are 3 40-minute group processes. And there's a payment plan available. And of course, if you are an Inner Circle member, please take advantage of your gift code, okay? Wonderful. Thank you so much, Moncef. And thank you, everybody, for all your questions, comments, and feedback and support in the chat. Thank you. Thank you, Moncef. This was wonderful.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Alara. Yeah, it was really a joy to be with you. We loved our conversation. And also thank you, everyone. It was felt really happy to connect with you all. So thank you for co-creation with us this experience today. Much love.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Until next time, we'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay. So 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow instead of 3. So I'll see you then. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now.